My best friend lied to me. I trusted her more than anyone. That night was my birthday, but she was not there. I remember that day very clearly. It was my birthday. I felt excited all morning. I checked my phone many times. I waited for one message. Her name is Lily. She is my best friend. We met 3 years ago at school. Since that day we do everything together. We eat lunch together. We study together. We walk home together. People always say, "You two are like sisters." I always smile and say, "Yes, she is my family." So that birthday, I wanted her to be there the most. 3 days before my birthday, I sent her a message. I typed slowly. I wanted it to feel special. "Hey, I will have a birthday dinner on Friday night. Can you come?" I looked at the screen. I waited. A few minutes later she replied, "Sorry, I am busy that night." I stared at the message. I read it again. Then I read it one more time. "Busy?" That was all she said. I felt something strange in my chest. It was small, but it hurt. I typed, "Oh, it's okay." Then I added, "Maybe next time." I tried to sound normal. I did not want her to feel bad. She replied, "Thank you for understanding." I put my phone down. I told myself, it's fine. But it did not feel fine. Friday night came. I wore my favorite dress. I looked at myself in the mirror. I smiled, but my smile felt a little weak. At the restaurant, my other friends were there. They sang for me. They gave me gifts. They took photos. I laughed with them. I said thank you again and again. But sometimes I looked at the door. I knew she would not come. But a small part of me still hoped. Maybe she would surprise me. Maybe she would walk in and say, "Happy birthday." But the door stayed closed. That night I went home late. I took off my shoes and sat on my bed. I felt very tired. My phone buzzed. I picked it up. It was a notification. Someone posted a new photo. I opened it, and then I froze. It was Lily. She was at a party. There were lights and music. People were dancing. She stood in the middle. She was smiling. She looked happy, very happy. My hand felt cold. I looked at the photo again. I looked at the time. It was taken tonight, the same night as my birthday dinner. I did not understand. She said she was busy, but she was at a party. She lied. I sat there in silence. My room was dark. Only my phone screen was bright. I wanted to send her a message. I wanted to ask, why? But my fingers didn't move. I felt hurt. I felt confused. I felt a little angry. I put my phone down slowly. Then I whispered to myself, "Why didn't you tell me the truth?" That night I could not sleep. I closed my eyes, but I saw her smile again. Not with me, but somewhere else. Maybe. I don't know her as well as I think. The next morning I woke up early. My head felt heavy. I checked my phone. No new message from Lily. I looked at our chat. The last message was still there. "Thank you for understanding." I stared at it for a long time. Then I locked my phone. At school, everything looked the same. The classroom was noisy. Students were talking and laughing. But something felt different. I saw Lily at her desk. She waved at me. "Good morning," she said. I forced a small smile. "Morning." My voice sounded quiet. We always sit together. So I walked to her side. I put my bag down. I took out my books. She looked at me. "Did you enjoy your birthday?" she asked. I paused for a second. Then I said, "Yes, it was nice." I did not look at her. She smiled. "I'm sorry I couldn't come." I nodded. "It's okay," I said again. The same words, the same lie. There was a short silence. She opened her book. I opened mine. We sat very close, but it felt far. During lunch, we still sat together, but we talked less. Before, we shared everything, small things, funny things, even silly thoughts. Now I just ate my food. She tried to start a conversation. "Hey, did you watch that show last night?" she asked. I shook my head. "No, I didn't." "Oh, it was really funny," she said. I nodded. "That's good." Then I looked down again. I knew I was acting strange. I could feel it. But I did not know what to say. If I spoke, I might ask the question. And I was afraid of the answer. In the afternoon, she looked at me again. "Are you okay?" she asked softly. Her voice was gentle. For a moment, I almost told her everything. I almost said, "I saw the photo. I know you lied." But the words stayed in my throat. I forced a smile. "I'm fine," I said. "I'm just a little tired." She looked at me for a few seconds, as if she wanted to say more. But then she nodded. "Okay, just take care," she said. "Take care." Those words felt warm, but also far away. After school, we usually walk home together, but that day I packed my bag quickly. "I need to go early today," I said. "Oh, okay," she replied. "I'll see you tomorrow." I nodded and left. I did not turn back. On the way home, I walked alone. The street was busy. Cars passed by. People talked around me. But I felt very quiet inside. I took out my phone again. I opened that photo. She was still smiling in it. So bright. So free. Not like the girl who sat next to me today. I felt something twist in my chest. I whispered to myself, "If you didn't want to come, you could just tell me." That night, I lay in bed. I held my phone in my hand. I wanted to text her. I typed, "Where were you last night?" Then I stopped. I deleted the words. I turned off my phone. I closed my eyes. Maybe she does not need me anymore. Maybe I am the only one who still cares this much. The room was quiet, but my heart was not. A few days passed. Nothing changed. Or maybe everything changed. Lily and I still sat together. We still said good morning. We still said, "See you." But that was all. No long talks, no laughter, no secrets. I told myself to stop thinking about it, but I could not. Her smile in that photo stayed in my mind. Again and again. One afternoon, I walked into the classroom early. A few classmates were already there. They were talking near the window. I was not trying to listen. But then I heard her name. "Lily." I stopped. "She works so hard," one girl said. "Yeah," another replied. "She goes to work after school every day." I frowned. "Work? She even worked on Friday night," the first girl said. "I saw her at the cafe near my house." "Really? Yeah, she looks so tired." My heart skipped a beat. Friday night. The same night. I stood there quietly. I did not move. I felt confused again. I thought she was at a party. But now, this? That day, I could not focus in class. The teacher was talking. Students were writing. But I just stared at my notebook. My mind was full of questions. After school, I packed my bag slowly. I looked at Lily. She was talking to someone. She looked normal. Calm. Quiet. Then she picked up her bag. She left the classroom quickly. I stood up. I hesitated for a moment. Then I followed her. I kept some distance. I did not want her to see me. My heart was beating fast. I did not know why I was doing this, but I needed to know the truth. She walked past the bus stop, past the usual road home. Then she turned into a small street. I had never walked there before. The street was quiet. There were a few small shops, a bakery, a bookstore, and then a cafe. Lily stopped there. She pushed the door open and walked in. I stood across the street. I looked through the window, and I saw her. She was not laughing. She was not dancing. She was wearing a simple uniform. She tied her hair up. She carried a tray in her hands. She was working. I felt frozen. This was not the girl in the photo. This was someone else, someone tired, someone serious. She walked from table to table. She smiled at customers, but her smile was small, not bright like before. After some time she stopped. She stood near the counter. She rubbed her hands. She looked down. For a moment she looked very tired. My chest felt tight. I did not understand. If she was here, then what about the party? What about that photo? I stepped back slowly. My mind was a mess. I walked home alone again. But this time my thoughts were louder. She lied. But why? I remembered her message. Sorry, I am busy that night. Busy. Yes, she was busy. But she did not tell me the truth. I looked up at the sky. The sun was going down. The light was soft. I whispered, "What are you hiding from me?" For the first time I felt something new, not just hurt, not just anger, doubt. Maybe there is something I don't know. Maybe the story is not so simple. But one question stayed in my heart. Why didn't you trust me with the truth? The next day, I could not wait anymore. I needed to talk to Lily. I needed the truth. After school, I walked to her desk. My hands felt cold. My heart was beating fast. "Lily," I said. She looked up. "Hey, what's wrong?" she asked. I took a deep breath. "Can we talk?" She nodded. "Of course." We walked outside together. The schoolyard was quiet. The sun was going down. Everything felt calm, but inside me, nothing was calm. We stopped near the gate. For a few seconds, I said nothing. Then I looked at her, and I asked, "Why did you lie to me?" She froze. Her eyes widened a little. She did not speak. "I saw the photo," I said. "My birthday night. You said you were busy. But you were at a party." My voice was shaking. "And yesterday, I saw you at the cafe. You were working." She looked down. Her hands moved slowly. She held her bag tighter. "I don't understand," I said. "Which one is true?" There was a long silence. The air felt heavy. Finally, she spoke. "I'm sorry," she said softly. Those 2 words hit me hard, but they were not enough. "Please tell me the truth," I said. "No more lies." She nodded slowly. She took a deep breath. "I was not at that party," she said. I frowned. "But I saw the photo." She gave a small, tired smile. "That photo is old," she said. "I posted it that night." I blinked. My mind stopped for a second. "Why?" I asked. She looked at me. This time her eyes were not calm. They were full of something deep, something heavy. "I didn't want you to know," she said. "Know what?" She looked down again. Then she said slowly, "I work every day after school." "You saw that." I nodded. "I also worked that night," she continued. "Your birthday night." My chest tightened. "I needed the money," she said. "For what?" I asked. She was quiet again. Then she opened her bag. She took something out. A small box. She held it carefully, like it was something very important. "I wanted to give this to you," she said. I looked at the box. My hands did not move. "I wanted it to be special," she said. "So I worked more hours. I saved money." Her voice became softer. "I didn't come to your dinner because I had a shift." I felt my throat tighten. "Then why didn't you tell me?" I asked. She smiled a little, but her eyes were wet. "Because I know you," she said. "You would tell me to rest. You would tell me not to work so hard." She paused. "And then, the surprise would be gone." Tears filled her eyes. "I wanted to make you happy," she said, "even if I was tired." I stood there. I could not speak. I remembered the photo, the smile, the party. It was not real. I remembered the cafe, her tired face, her slow steps. That was real. My eyes started to burn. You did all that for me? I asked. She nodded. You are my best friend, she said. You are worth it. That was it. I could not stop my tears. I'm sorry, I said. I thought I could not finish my sentence. She shook her head. It's okay, she said gently. I lied. Yes, I said. But it was for me. She gave a small laugh. Yes. I looked at the box again. This time my hands moved. I took it slowly. It was not big, it was not expensive, but it felt heavy. Not because of the gift, but because of her love. I held the small box in my hands. For a moment, I did not open it. I just looked at Lily. Her eyes were still a little red, but she was smiling, a soft, quiet smile. I'm sorry, I said again. This time my voice was steady. I didn't trust you. She shook her head. And I'm sorry too, she said. I lied to you. We stood there. No one spoke for a few seconds. But the silence felt different now. It was not cold. It was warm. I opened the box slowly. Inside there was a simple bracelet. It was silver. Very small. Very clean. It's not expensive, she said quickly, but I saw it and thought of you. I touched the bracelet gently. It's perfect, I said, and I love it. She looked at me. Really? I nodded. Yes, because it's from you. Her smile grew a little bigger. I put the bracelet on my wrist. It fit just right. Look, I said, raising my hand. It's beautiful. She laughed softly. You always say that, she said. Because it's always true, I replied. We both laughed. A real laugh this time, not forced, not careful. We started to walk home together, like before, side by side. The street looked the same, but everything felt new. I don't want this again, I said. No more lies. She nodded. No more lies, she repeated. Even if it's for something good, I added. She thought for a moment. Then she smiled. Okay, maybe fewer lies, she said. I laughed. Okay, but next time tell me the truth. I will, she said. I promise. We walked a little slower. Neither of us wanted to rush. I don't need gifts, I said quietly. I just need you. She looked at me. Her eyes were warm again. And I'm here, she said. The sky turned orange. The sun was going down. The light was soft. I looked at my bracelet. It was simple, but it meant so much. That night I lay in bed. I looked at my wrist again. I thought about everything, the lie, the pain, the truth. Then I smiled. Sometimes a lie can hurt. Sometimes it can break a heart. But sometimes it comes from love. And sometimes what really matters is not the gift, not the lie, but the person who stays.